Hey everybody, welcome back. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I sure did, and I hope everybody has a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. This year's gone by pretty fast. Of course, I've been pretty busy, had a lot going on with work and moving, all settled in the new home now. Just still got some unpacking to do. My wife has a lot of stuff she has to decide whether to donate, keep it, or sell it. And yeah, it just seemed like just yesterday it was New Year's Day, but really weird start to I lost like four people in my life this year. I'm doing well with it. I'm doing okay. My two uncles that passed away. It was kind of expected, but I had two other friends that passed away that was unexpected, really shocking. Yeah, I think it was New Year's Day. I had a friend that passed away, and then a former coworker, and then good friend from high school passed away back in May, and then I lost two uncles. I think in October 14th, it was exactly 2 weeks apart. I think it was October 14th and October 28th. I lost two uncles like 2 weeks apart. It was expected for both of them. It was still kind of sad and shocking that they're gone. They're no longer here. But I'm doing well with it. I'm doing all right. I'm coping well. So, yeah, no worries there. Nothing to brag about with my Chicago teams. I'm a big football and basketball fan. Especially the Chicago Bears are doing terrible. They lost six in a row, 3-10. I don't get it. Everybody talks about what a great quarterback they have in Justin Fields, but it's like, okay, if he's so good, why aren't they winning? Okay, why aren't they winning? But I guess people are saying like, oh, he doesn't have good receivers, and their offensive line is terrible. Their defense is terrible. They can't close out even if they have a lead. They just can't finish off games. And I don't know what's the problem with the Bulls. They have pretty much the same team from last year. They still have that Lonzo Ball that's injured. That I think he had to have knee surgery, and they were hoping for him to be back in January or February. But now they're saying that he may not even return this season. I guess it's day to day, but I guess his knee is still in a lot of pain. But still, even with him back, it just doesn't seem like they would be that much better of a team, and they shouldn't be struggling like they are, but they are. So, yeah, nothing really to brag about there. I'm finally no longer dental. I had a lot of pain. I had two crowns done on my left side and the bottom, and they made a mistake. I had to go back and get it fit. They had to adjust. Every dentist I've ever gone to, I've had crowns done. What they do is they make sure it fits before they implant it. They kind of drill away at it. They put it in, see how it fits, and if it doesn't fit, they take it out and they drill it down a little more, put it back in. Well, this dentist I went to, I'm not going to her again, but she actually implanted it, and my bite wasn't fine. So I had to go back and they adjusted my bite. It felt a little bit better, but then later on that day, I'm like, wait a minute, my bite still isn't right. So I went back to the same practice to see another dentist. Finally got my bite right, but yeah, it looks like I was in extreme pain with anything cold. Anything cold. It was like there must have been a gap. I guess there was still some cement that could cause pain too. There was still some cement left on there that wasn't taken off. So I'm gonna get a second opinion because that dentist was telling me that I need two more crowns done on my right side, and I was supposed to have that done at the beginning of the year, but I think I'm gonna go in before I even have that done. I'm gonna get it because it's pretty expensive. Dental insurance only covers half of crowns. I mean, it's like I think it's like $1,500 to $1,600 that I've already paid for this left side, and another $1,500 or $1,600 for the right side. So I'm gonna get a second opinion from the other dentist before I go ahead and do that. But yeah, I'd never been. I thought I needed a root canal. They checked to make sure. I think I had an X-ray done, and they checked to make sure that the root wasn't dying, and the root was fine. But I'm like, man, that was extreme pain. So I've had two root canals, and the pain that I had experienced was like worse than those two root canals that I had done. So I'm like hoping I don't need another root canal. But funny thing is that's dental surgery. Root canals are actually cheaper than, I know the two root canals I had done were only, even with insurance, it was only $50, but yet crowns are like $500 out of, even with insurance. So that's kind of strange. It's like, oh, maybe I should just let my roots die and just have root canals instead of crowns. So, yeah, I'm hoping everybody's doing well. Thank you for all your support and for watching my 120 subscribers. I love you all, and thank you for supporting me, and I support you all so much. Hope everybody's life is treating everybody well, and Yeah, everything's going fairly well for me. Not perfect, but I've been jumping through a lot of hoops lately. You know, I was with the pretty busy with the move, and still got some things to take care of. But yeah, mostly everything's done. But felt like I spent so much time making phone calls. So much has been going on. You know, switching insurance companies. I'm on my own insurance now, and I had to jump through hoops for that. I had to go back to the pharmacy like 4 times before they finally. It was weird. I thought they would give me a one-time override because they were showing. I should have done is I should have renewed all my prescriptions before my old insurance ran out. They said, "Oh, we could give you prescriptions," but I thought usually pharmacies will give you like a one-time override when you're switching insurance companies. But Walgreens wouldn't do it. They said, "Oh, it's if you have to, we need your insurance information, otherwise it's going to be like $300 for your meds." I'm like, "Oh, I'm not paying $300. I don't want to. I could probably get reimbursed, but I didn't want to go back for that." So I said, "I'll get you the insurance information." So I called up my benefits department and got the insurance information, pharmacy information. But then I went to the pharmacy. I went to Walgreens, and they said, "Oh, there's still a couple numbers missing." There was like a PCN, and they gave me all these numbers. It was like 6 or 7 numbers. But they said, "Oh, we still need a couple more numbers from you." I'm like, "What number?" They said, "Oh, your PCN and your group number." I'm like, "Okay." So I called them back again, got the PCN, or I called the pharmaceutical company, got the PCN number and the group number, and then it turns out they were showing I wasn't in the system because they said, "Oh, are you with First Baptist Church?" I'm like, "No, I'm not." And like, "Okay, because nothing's showing up for you." It turns out Walgreens, I guess, had reversed a couple numbers. They put the numbers in wrong. They switched them back. I'm like, "Okay, there you are, there you are." I'm like, "God, fourth time's a charm. Jesus fucking Christ." So that was all taken care of, and just other things. We've got a chest of drawers where there's actually drawers on the one side, and there's like a sliding door. And there's shelves on the other side with like a sliding door, and it would slide over to the left real smoothly, but then going back over to the right, you had to really push it. You had to really force it. Something's not right here. So Bob's Discount Furniture, they took that back and they gave us a whole nother unit, a whole nother item. The same dresser. It's like even the guys, the delivery drivers brought over. "Yeah, it looks like you're going to have the same issue." So they said, "Well, we'll get a tech out for you." So they sent a tech over, and he made an adjustment, and it's working fine now. Hopefully, it'll continue to. Well, at least I know now what the problem was. It was just off track. He made a little adjustment to it, but. And then with our mortgage company, everything's straightened out. But it's like we were trying to pay our mortgage online, and it turned out our mortgage got transferred, got sold. And I didn't want to be in, especially your first mortgage payment, didn't want to be in default. But yeah, the mortgage company said, "Oh yeah, don't worry, you're covered by RESPA," which is like a Real Estate Settlement Protection Act. And they said, "Yeah, you won't, even if you're past the due date, you won't have any late fees, any penalties, because your mortgage is being transferred." So finally, I think like 3 or 4 days after, I was finally able to pay the mortgage online, but that was stressing me out. And yeah, just so many phone calls to get insurance. My new job, they said like, "Oh, we need some type of document." It was weird. I had to call up my wife's old company, and they were kind of confused. As I just need some document showing when my insurance ran out, when I lost coverage, and I had to jump through so many hoops for that, and had to get that over to my company. So, but yeah, that's all. It's all in the past now. It's all history. But yeah, just looking back on that, it's going, "Oh my God, no wonder I went nuts." I actually started crying one day because I was so stressed out, but all better now. I think it was the day that I was doing the big move, but I just had lost it. But at least it was better than the last move. Definitely better last move. I think I was a lot more lost, a lot more stressed out. I know it's been a while now, but I'm so glad that the pandemic is over. Some people may not agree with me on that. Some people still feel that this pandemic is far from over. I know COVID is still around. It probably still will always be around, just like the flu. But I'm sorry, in my opinion, a lot of people's opinions, the pandemic phase of COVID is over. But it's just funny how the media is getting people so worked up again. I guess heavy populated cities, I'm not sure about Chicago, but I guess New York. My brother lives in New York, and I guess in LA, they're considering it a triple-demic now, because I guess they're seeing, and it happens every year when the weather gets cold, the wintertime, you see rises, and it's flu season. What's the big deal? What's the scare? It's always been around. But they're seeing rises in the flu and COVID and also RSV. But yeah, it really amazes me. And even when during the pandemic phase, most the survival rate was pretty high, but it just amazes me how people get so scared about the media. I didn't change other than wearing a mask back in that time, which I didn't want to do. I wouldn't have done if it wasn't mandated because I'm not paranoid like that. But everybody was just like buying into it. I talked to a friend of mine at work, and I said we kind of agreed with each other. I said, yeah, other than wearing a mask, which I don't want to do I'm just doing it because it's mandated. But I said, yeah, other than wearing a mask, I haven't really changed much about my life. And he said the same thing too. And just like I'm so glad it's over. With all these, school closed, businesses being shut down, people losing their businesses, schools being shut down, curfews, lockdowns. It's just crazy. I'm looking back on it. It was a real tough time for me. I hit some heavy depression, some heavy anger during that time. I was really uneasy, wasn't doing well with it. Some people just life hand some lemons. They just make lemonade, but they just go with the flow. But I guess I'm not able to do that in all situations. I can't always make lemonade. That was one of those situations. But yeah, mask is currently my least favorite word. Thanks to COVID-19, I hate the word mask. And all these other words like all these other terms like social distancing, vaccines, quarantine, isolating. It's just all really irritating to me just to hear those words still. But yeah, I mean, I haven't gotten the flu shot for like 10 years. I used to get the flu shot and I would get sick from the flu shot and then I'd still get the flu. Now explain that one to me. So I haven't gotten the flu shot for 10 years. I haven't gotten the flu since. So explain that to me, and I did get vaccinated, but I really didn't want to do it, but I kind of felt forced into it. That's why I did. At least there's nothing wrong with the vaccine. I was kind of paranoid about the vaccine because it's so new. Like, who knows? I had, not conspiracy theories, but I was worried about it because it's something new. Like, how do you know what this vaccine is going to do to your body? I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory or not, but some people that were planning on conceiving were not getting it because they were afraid it was going to affect their ability to impregnate somebody or get impregnated. I don't know if that's just a conspiracy theory or if it's actually true that can happen. I'm not sure, but yeah, some people have that didn't get vaccinated. A lot of people that didn't get vaccinated had some conspiracy theories about it. But it's like, people are getting vaccinated and still getting COVID. So it's like, what is the point? But I mean, obviously it did help. I mean, it got the numbers down and some people, I don't know. I just don't believe that masks really do any good, but supposedly, a lot of people think they do. I guess they don't eliminate 100%, but just reduce the risk. But yeah, to me, it just seemed like there was no scientific evidence that masks really did any good. But a lot of people think that they do. There's a lot of people talking now about this triple-demic. They're talking about masking up again, going out in public. Or if I could see if you're sick, but if you're not sick, if you're not around somebody that's sick, I don't see the point in doing it. But again, people just, the flu's comes around every year, and COVID, I mean, the numbers are way down. It has a high survival rate. I mean, to me, this day, 3 years later, I just don't understand what the big paranoia is about it. And Bill Gates, I think it was back in May, I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know if he's just trying to get attention or whatever, but he had said like he didn't want to be the voice of doom and gloom, but he said we may not have seen the worst of this coronavirus yet, of COVID-19. Like, what the hell? To me, he doesn't have any business getting involved in it in the first place. So he's got billions of dollars. So because of that, we're supposed to take his word for it and everything. But yeah, I mean, the way things were a year and a half, 2 years ago, it's like you're saying that we're going to go back. The numbers, we got the vaccine now, and the numbers are so far down. And even without most people masking up, the numbers are still so far down. what makes you think that we're going to go back to that things are going to get worse than they were before? I'm not saying another pandemic may not come around, but as far as COVID-19, I don't see it getting the way it was, where businesses were being shut down, people were being told to stay at home, not have family gatherings, schools being shut down, stay-at-home orders, and all that just really got to me, and I don't see it getting back to that again. And it's really weird. A lot of people I know are diehard Republicans, really conservative. They're all about their rights. But even a lot of people I know like that weren't having, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, weren't having gatherings. And I'm like, I was talking to a friend about it, and a friend of mine was like, oh, they can't, and it's like, no, they could. They're just choosing not to. And I just think there's just too much government control. It just really surprises me how a lot of people let the government control their lives. I mean, obviously, we don't have control of everything, but it just surprises me how so many people just buy into this hype. The media, they let the government control their lives 100%, letting the government tell them what to do, and letting the media get them hyped up, get so many people scared. And there's, a lot of this back and forth. At first, Dr. Fauci had said not to wear a mask and then there's still people that say that. I can't believe that too, that kind of compromises your own immune system. And then he was telling people to wear masks. And I think people called him out on it. It's like, why did you do that? Why did you tell people not to wear masks? And then all of a sudden you're pushing for it. And he said, I really think people should have been wearing masks from the start, from day one, but I was afraid that there was going to be a shortage. I'm like, oh my God, It's just, it's such a bunch of bullshit, but I'm glad the worst of COVID-19 is over. My life is much better. I'm doing much better than I was a year and a half, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say on everything. Doing well. I hope everybody, once again, I hope everybody has a great holiday coming up and a Happy New Year. And comment, like, share, subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all real soon with another great video. Have a great rest of your week, everybody, and a great weekend. Talk to you all soon. Bye.